Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gautami, a first year HRM student at XLRI Jamshedpur, and today I'm here to share my HRM interview experience with you all. So firstly, as you all must be doing right now, booking the dates and the venue for the interviews. And for me, I gave my interview from Kolkata, and I don't exactly remember the date, but I think it was 22nd of February. But yeah, anyways. So firstly, after you select your venue and date, you get your panel number, and on the day at the venue, for the first round you'll be called in for the GD, and during the GD, when you are entering the room for GD, you'll be given numbers, and you'll have to sit according to the numbers. Now during your PI, this number order will be followed, and so how it goes is, firstly we enter the room, and the particular panel is called, and then we enter the room, we sit according to the numbers given to us, and then we are given a topic. Firstly we are told the way in which it is to be held, the entire GD session, and then the PI, the process is told to us, and after that we get our GD topic, and with the GD topic we start with the introduction, conclusion, and all that we do. And after the GD, right after the GD, we are given some minutes to write an essay on the same. Previously this essay was included during the XAT exam, but right now it's the essay is right after the GD, and it's on the same topic that you are given during the GD. So after you have written the essay and you submit your papers, you come out of the room. After that, according to the number provided to you, you enter for the PI. Now in the PI, I'll tell you my personal experience, but from what I have heard from others as well, some get grilled on what they did during the GD, some get asked questions from what they wrote in their essay. And also mind you, when you are writing the essay, it's very important that other than writing your own points, whatever you told during the GD, it's also important that you write down others' point of views, and you give a conclusion and an introduction to the entire essay that you write, because that shows that you were not only talking or speaking while the GD was going on, but you were also listening to what others were stating and keeping that in your mind. So that part is very important, because if you don't do that, then you get marked out. That's what I have heard from others. But in my case, they did not refer to my GD or my essay, and when I entered, they did not even tell me to tell me about yourself questions or any introduction. They directly started with like, and firstly I had 3 panelists. One was, I think, 2 professors, and one was an alum. What happened was, they started with, "Oh, you're from Kolkata." And then since I had my work experience from Hyderabad, so they asked that, "So you're from Hyderabad too?" And then they told me that, "Since you have worked in Hyderabad, tell us about your work experience." So my interview started with not an introduction of myself, but my work experience. Now here I would like to pause and tell you that I don't exactly remember the transcript in a proper sequence or an order, because I did not write it down anywhere, but it is recollecting from my memory whatever I can think of, I am telling you. So it might not be exact, but at least whatever I am saying was there in the interview. So yeah, so they asked me about my work experience, and I briefed them about it. So I got counter questions like, why this, why that, because in the few months that I have worked, I switched many domains. So they asked me, why this, why that, like everything that you say needs to be followed by a logic, like why that happened. And after those counter questions, they went to my academics. Okay, now for this part, what I did was, I carried a CV that I made, because after coming into Excel, you will be given a particular format to make your CVs, but that's not possible outside Excel. So you create your own CV, and make sure that there are certain points that you need to write down on your CV. For example, your academics, then your work experience, if any, your internships, if you have done any, then your positions of responsibilities, and then other than that, any extracurricular activities that you have done, any mentionable achievements, any projects, and any research papers. So stuff like that you want to mention, and that you want to talk about during the interview, or something that will help the panelists to understand who you are or what you stand for, is very important. So yeah, I gave them that soft copy, and from there they saw my marks and stuff. And also, other than the CV, the main thing that they were referring to was my form that I filled up for the interview. So what they did was they were checking my academics and everything from there, and they were asking questions that also I have a gap year between my 12th and my college. So they asked me why there is a gap year, and if you can justify it, it's completely fine. So I justified my gap year and they were okay with it. And after that they asked me that why and this was a very tensed part for me, the most critical part of my interview, I think, because they asked me that after going through my work experience and then my academics, and they were suddenly like, so why are you here? Because talking about my background, I am a general engineer female, and I have worked for around 21 months. So now they asked me that why are you here? So I told them the answer, and out of nowhere, I don't know where that came from, one of the professors told me, so your percentile is very high. I am not a 99 percentiler, I had 98.6 percentile, but they told me that you have such a high percentile, so let's trade off your HRM interview for your BM interview, and I will refer you to the BM panelists. And he said thank you. And you don't know, at that point I felt so lost and devastated. I was like, is my interview over just like that, even before it started? Like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? So I thank God I thought of something and I stated that in the interview, and I believe that was the turning point of my interview. So I told them whatever I felt, and then they were happy with my answer. I could see that on their faces. At least that's what I would like to believe. Yeah, so they told me, okay, so let's continue, and I was very happy at that point. But yeah, so after that they asked me, they switched from the topic very randomly, and they asked me that how far was my PG from my office at Hyderabad. So I told them, and then they asked me what are the places that you have visited in Hyderabad. Then I told them that I couldn't visit much because of blah blah stuff, and then they told me that how far have you been, and then they asked me about several places in Hyderabad and asked me that how far do you think is it from your PG, and I told them whatever I could think of, and then they were it was like a rapid fire after that, did you visit this place, that place, and mind you, those are original places, and all of a sudden they told me an imaginary place, and I took that mall name for another mall, and I thought that is an original place, and I told them yes, I visited that place, and all three were taken aback that how is that possible. And it is then that I kept my rationale, that what I thought and how I answered that and why I answered that. So they understood my rationale, and after that I believe that was a trick question, and after talking to me about Hyderabad, they told me name something that you really like about Hyderabad, and no, I did not say biryani. So things were focused mainly on Hyderabad, my work experience and stuff. Then all of a sudden it moved to a question by another professor, what do you mean by consumer minimalism? So I told what I thought, and after that they moved on to my positions of responsibilities, because I have many positions of responsibilities in my CV. They asked me about that, they asked me some experiences from there, I shared some, and that is as far as I can remember. And after that they asked me about some hobbies, I mentioned those, and then another important question I remember clearly was they asked me about my long-term goals, not directly of course, but what do you want to give back to the society and like that. So I answered about my long-term goals, and that was it. That was all about my interview. And now talking about the types of interview, see, this was my personal experience. It does not have to mean that you the one seeing this video will be having the exact same experience, because the panelists will vary, the places will vary, because from what I have heard, there were instances where people were taken by surprise, they were grilled, then they were asked from core MBA questions, and even though they're not applying for a finance role, they were asked finance questions. So anything under the sun can come, but all you need to be is rational, and you need to let them know what you are thinking very clearly. So what I think is they check how you think, how clear you are about your thoughts, and how do you present yourself. Be confident And other than that, talking about my GD topic, I don't remember that. But even there, for both my panels, BM and HRM, I got something related to business and AI. So it might change this year, I'm not sure about that, but my topics were related to these. And in this video, I have shared about my HRM experience, and in some other video, I will be sharing about my BM interview, if at all I can find a transcript. So if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comment section or DM me on Instagram. And also, I have put out a form for PI, GDPI and mock GDPI. It's for free, you can avail that. I think I'll put it in my bio, and I'll also put it in the description of this video. So fill up that form if you want to apply for a free mock GDPI session. And yeah, that will be all for this video.